Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity. Okay. So, through the Spirit, I rented a movie on YouTube, and it's the Christopher Columbus movie called 1492. But in that movie, if you watch it, it reveals that Christopher Columbus, one of the reasons why he knew he could find the Americas and the New World was because of the book of Esdras. All right, because what it is let me get the 12 tribes chart real quick. Let's see. So I'm going to pull up this 12 tribes chart, and we'll deal with let's see. Oh, we'll use this one. So right here, you got Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, this is Southern Kingdom Israel. And then after Levi, you got, which is Northern Kingdom. We're starting out at Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. All right. So when you look at Ephraim, they're the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh is the so-called Cubans. Simeon, so-called Dominicans. Zebulun, Guatemala to Panama and the Mayans. Gad, Native American Indians. Reuben, Seminole Indians. Asher, Colombia to Uruguay, Incas. Issachar, the Mexicans, the Aztecs. And Naphtali is Argentina and Chile. All right, so starting out from Ephraim on down, we got Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar, Naphtali. All right, so if you look at all these bywords on the right-hand side, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican, Guatemala, Native American, Seminole, Colombia, Uruguay, Mexico, Argentina. All right. So these are the what they call the 10 lost tribes of Israel. All right, even though it's 9, but it's 10 because I believe they included Dan as part of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. But what it is here is Northern Kingdom. Right, they left. They left. Northern Kingdom left the other side of the world, the old world, during the Assyrian Empire, okay, during the time of Hosea the prophet, okay. So, just wanted to give you the background on the tribes, because like I say, I'm talking about Northern Kingdom, right? Not Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but the other tribes, all right, which are the so-called Hispanic and Latino and so-called Native American tribes, all right? But back to this, those are the ones who came to the Americas first, before Christopher Columbus, right? They teach in the schools that Christopher Columbus, that he discovered America, but indeed, you can't discover a land when there are people already inhabiting the land, all right? Because what you have to understand is the 10 lost tribes of Israel discovered the Americas before Christopher Columbus. So that's what I'm going to show you in the scriptures, and then I've got a video I'm going to play that's dealing with the movie 1492 that shows you that Christopher Columbus knew that he could find some land and find the Americas because of the book of Esdras. All right, and this is the account. Second Esdras 13 and 41. So, well, let's see. Let's start at 40. It says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea," or Hosea, same thing, "the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land." All right, so those 10 tribes, we go back to the chart: Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, and so forth, all the way down Gad, Reuben, Asher, Issachar to Naphtali on this chart. Those tribes here is what we're reading about, okay? Now which are these are the so-called Latino, Native American, and Hispanic tribes. So this is, again, I'll start over, verse 40. "Those are the 10 tribes which are carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land." All right. Verse 41. "But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt." Okay? So this is talking about the 10 tribes of Israel taking counsel to leave the heathen because they couldn't keep the laws among the heathen, all right? That's what happens when you dwell with the heathen, man. The laws are going to be defiled. Why is that? Because the heathen nations, they don't have laws. They don't follow the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So our people, the 10 tribes, were like, "Hey, we need to get the fuck out of here so we can so we can keep our own laws," all right? Verse 42, "that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over." All right, and those signs the Most High showed them were the chariots. The chariots were guiding the 10 tribes, northern kingdom, to the Americas, all right? Way before Christopher Columbus, okay? Verse 45, "For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth." Okay? So Arsareth is a word, is actually what the Bible calls the Americas, all right? North and Central and South America. That's the land of Arsareth, okay? That's what the Bible calls it. But you got to remember, the Edomites, they name their countries and their nations after themselves, right? Psalms 49:11. It says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." See, so that's why you have the District of Washington, D.C., which is the District of Columbia, which is the female version of the name Columbus. You have the District of Columbia, all right? And then you have America, all right? They don't call it Arsareth, like the scriptures call the Americas Arsareth, but the so-called white man, he names it after their lands after their own names, like we just read. So he's named it America after this guy, Amerigo Vespucci, all right, from Florence, Italy, an Edomite. It says Amerigo Vespucci was an Italian merchant, explorer, and navigator from the Republic of Florence, from whose name the term America is derived. he became a Castilian citizen in 1505. So you see, this is all the same time frame. This is just about 10 years, 13 years after Columbus uh, got to the Americas. All right, got to the New World. Hence the New World Order. That's what they've had a agenda is to start a New World Order since the time of Columbus, man. These Edomites have really been pushing towards this New World Order. But this is who it's named after, right? Amerigo Vespucci, just like we read it in Psalm 49:11. They named their lands after their own names. They call their lands after their own names. So now let me go back to that Esdras. Let's see. They got to Arsareth, our people, right? This is during the time of Esdras the prophet, and Hosea was the king in the land, right? So anyway, what I'm going to play now is a video. It's the movie 1492 Conquest of Paradise. And just to show you that they know, they know about the 12 tribes, man. Proof that the so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, which, were living in North, South, and Central America, right? We just read it in Esdras. They got here, and it said it took them a year and a half, all right? So here's the proof that not only are the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics Israelites, but here's the proof that the Edomites knew the 10 tribes of Israel, the lost 10 tribes of Israel, were already in the Americas, okay? So let's play the clip from the movie.
Prices on gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
How can you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's worse?
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
For telling the truth?
Yes. We are burning people for less. The men you're about to confront have no emotions. You must learn to...
So there it is, in the movie 1492, the Conquest of Paradise. You have the clip where it shows Christopher Columbus. He's trying to persuade the Spanish to finance the trip to the Americas, all right? And he said right there, you saw it in the movie, Esdras. That's how he knew he could find the Americas, because of the book of Esdras. Because he knew about the 10 lost tribes of Israel, man. They knew our people came, and just through the Spirit, there's a beautiful chariot that my daughter put on my phone. And the chariot is what guided our people. And not only did it guide our people, but there's documented material stating that Christopher Columbus saw the chariots also when he came to the Americas, and he called it, he coined it Saint Elmo's fire. Okay, that's what Christopher Columbus called the chariots when he saw them. Because not only did the Lord guide the Israelites to the Americas, but he also guided Esau, Edom, to the Americas. He put the spirit in their hearts to come to this land and conquer, right? And our people were going off, so they got conquered. They weren't following Yahweh Bashem Yahushai anymore, Let's see. Here it is. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. All right? So that nation that came from afar, whose tongue didn't understand, that was the conquistadors, and that was Christopher Columbus, you see. And then later on would be the Britons, So it's all Bible prophecy being fulfilled. But like I say, this is how you know that the so-called Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans are the tribes of Israel, because they got here first in the book of Esdras. And then, just like we watched that little clip from the movie, Christopher Columbus, hey, he had confidence to make it to the Americas because of the book of Esdras. All right. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity. All right. Shalom to the elect.